Welcome to another edition of Mr. M Online. Today we're going to be talking about multiplication with decimals. So up to now, we've been recently introduced to finding the volume of a rectangular prism. So the formula for this is length times width times height. And in doing so, we need to sometimes multiply decimals. And this is where we maybe need to take a step back and take a little practice multiplying decimals. So I'm going to put an example on the board, and this is something that you can look at, and it will help you multiply decimals and therefore help you find volumes of rectangular prisms and cubes and so on when you're asked for the volume. So in this particular case, we have 1.5 times 1.5. So when you're multiplying decimals, it's one thing that I think is good to do is just forget about the decimal until the end and just think of it as 15 times 15. So multiplying a 2-digit by a 2-digit. Okay, so we're going to start off just multiplying this. So 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 is 7. We'll put our placeholder in here. 1 times 5 is 5. And 1 times 1 is 1. And then we'll just add this. 5. And then 7 plus 5 is 12. Carry the 1 is 2. So where do we put the decimal here? Well, we've noticed that the decimal is over 1 on this number and 1 on this number for a total of 2 spaces to the left. So down at the bottom here, we'll do the same. We'll go over 2 spaces, 1, 2, and place our decimal right there. So the answer for length times width is 2.25. Okay, and now in order to find the volume, we need to do another multiplication operation. So 2.25, the answer here, times the height, 1.5. 1.5, like that. Okay, we can add a 0 there as a placeholder. So we'll do this multiplication. So this becomes 3-digit by 3-digit multiplication, and a lot of people haven't really done that yet. So hopefully this video will be helpful for you to take another look at this at home. And just think of it as 225 times 150 if you want, and just add the decimals in at the end. So 0 times 5 is 0, 0 times 2 is 0, and 0 times 2 is 0. So second line we add 1 placeholder, so we can start 1 column over. 5 times 5 is 25, carry the 2. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12, carry the 1. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Okay, and then we're going to have to add 2 zeros because we're going to using the third number now to multiply. So 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2 again. And now, since it's 3 by 3, we have 3 lines here, and then when it was 2 by 2, we had 2 lines. So now we just add them up. Zeros, 5, 7, 3, and 3. Okay, so how far over do we have to put the decimal? Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So our answer then is, since we'll just eliminate the 0 and call it 3.375 centimeters cubed. Okay, remember this part is really important too to write that correctly because it makes a difference as to whether it's 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional.